Does your pond or lake have problems? If you're experiencing an overabundance of aquatic weeds or algae, or if your fish need help, or even if the water quality in your pond or lake is not as nice as it used to be, AquaTech Environmental can help. We are Western New York's only full-service pond and lake management firm. This presentation will take you, the owner, through the simple steps necessary to return your pond or lake to a functional, attractive body of water once again. As part of our pond and lake management program, AquaTech Environmental provides the following services: algae and aquatic plant control, fish stocking and management, water quality testing, nuisance wildlife control, and pond design consultation. The most prevalent problem with ponds is algae and aquatic plants. To deal with this, we are certified insured applicators qualified to process New York State DEC permits, and we utilize only environmentally sound practices. In addition, we can provide non-chemical options to control aquatic plants and algae. As qualified fisheries biologists, we can supply your pond with a wide variety of fish or help you to manage an existing population. This includes stocking grass carp to control aquatic vegetation, stocking and management of game and forage fish, fishery consultation, and habitat design and improvement. Naturally, we can process all necessary permits associated with stocking and managing fish for your pond. One of the best indicators of your pond's health is its water chemistry. As part of our initial analysis, we sample your pond water and evaluate all of the important characteristics to give a rating to your water quality. This testing includes general parameters such as pH, dissolved oxygen, and alkalinity, coliform testing as an indicator for swimming water quality, and nutrient testing to determine the fertility of your pond. Management options may include aeration, microbial, or chemical remedies to improve water quality. AquaTech Environmental can help rid your pond of nuisance wildlife such as muskrat, Canada geese, snapping turtles, and nuisance fish. Once again, we handle the permitting that is required for this type of activity. Finally, although we don't actually excavate ponds, our firm can help with the design consultation. Often a few well-placed improvements in your design may very well result in a more functional, maintenance-free body of water for years to come. Subjects include the slope and average depth of your pond, the outlet and method for controlling your outflow, and fish habitat improvement. Phase 1 of AquaTech's Pond and Lake Management Program involves an initial walkthrough of your pond to determine its condition and make recommendations for improvements. We start with a water quality test to characterize your pond. General parameters include pH, hardness, alkalinity, and dissolved oxygen. Next, we measure nutrient levels such as nitrogen and phosphorus. These compounds act as fertilizer to aquatic plants and algae, and they are typically elevated in ponds with an overabundance of aquatic vegetation. An important part of the initial walkthrough is the aquatic plant survey. We take samples of algae, rooted plants, or even microscopic planktonic algae. The density or percent cover is recorded for each type of plant. Next, our biologists identify any visible species of fish or other aquatic animals. This is important because management recommendations could affect each of these animals differently. After measuring the surface acreage and depth of your pond, we provide both long and short-term recommendations for dealing with any problem observed during the initial walkthrough. Finally, we provide custom pricing for your pond based on our recommendations. Armed with this new information, you are now well on your way to a more usable, better-looking pond. In the second phase, we initiate a management plan based on the results of the initial walkthrough and your budget limitations. Step 1 is to gain control over algae and aquatic vegetation. This is accomplished most efficiently by carefully applying aquatic herbicides as needed. Some water use restrictions and the retention of treated water in your pond may be needed while the herbicide is active. Following that time period, you can use the pond as you normally would. To provide maintenance control over aquatic vegetation or as a non-chemical approach, sterile or triploid grass carp can be stocked in your pond. These fish live for up to 15 years and are capable of consuming 1/2 their body weight per day in aquatic vegetation. A New York State permit is processed by AquaTech, and requires that you retain the fish in your pond using a weed guard or similar retention device. To complete the food web or to provide fishing opportunities, game fish are often stocked in ponds. Largemouth bass are the most suited for this environment. However, it is possible to raise species such as walleye, crappie, yellow perch, trout, or northern pike. It is illegal to transfer fish from one pond to another in New York State without a permit. So once again, we process all the necessary paperwork, and AquaTech is a certified hatchery operator and fish stocking agent. To provide food for your fish, we can provide several types of forage, including fathead minnows, bluegill, crayfish, or pellet food feeders. It's important to monitor the health of your fish population and add supplemental forage whenever game fish growth rates are not acceptable. For example, it may require between 7 to 10 pounds of live forage per year for a largemouth bass to gain 1 pound. Phase 3 of the management plan involves the maintenance of your pond. Often an aeration system is installed to improve and maintain water quality. In some cases, a surface aerator such as a fountain is appropriate. This approach utilizes a floating ring containing a motor-driven prop used to drive water from the pond into the air. This suspended water becomes aerated and cascades down on the surface of the pond, increasing the dissolved oxygen. In other situations, a compressor diffuser is used to aerate the pond. In this system, compressed air is sent via air lines to stone diffusers on the bottom of the pond. With this approach, rising air bubbles carry oxygen-poor water from the bottom to the surface where it absorbs atmospheric oxygen and further mixes and increases the overall dissolved oxygen concentration of the pond. There are pros and cons to either approach to aeration. We will recommend the system that best suits your pond and budget. Some of the benefits of aeration include reduced winter fish kills, reduction of nutrients through microbial action, destratification of the water column, and the reduction of foul odors such as sulfur and methane. All ponds accumulate organic matter on the bottom over time. AquaTech can help reduce organic debris by adding bacteria to digest this material. The microbes are the same species found in your pond and are perfectly safe for swimming. However, they should be used in combination with aeration. Benefits of microbial treatments include reduced odors, breakdown of nutrients, and up to 4-inch reduction in organic material per year. From time to time, additional game and forage fish may need to be added to your pond. AquaTech can sample your fish population and make adjustments to maximize the average fish size and balance the ecosystem. We will continue to monitor your pond to make sure that it remains well managed. After a few years, we will offer an annual contract to reduce the annual costs while still providing on-call service as needed. It is our goal at AquaTech Environmental to provide accurate, reliable, cost-effective management of your pond or lake. Finally, we guarantee our service and will do anything in our power to provide you, the pond or lake owner, with a functional, aesthetically pleasing body of water.